Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah R. Turnquist, and I am serving this year as the coordinator for Kentucky Christian Writers Conference 2026. Yay!
Yay! Welcome. I am Cindy Smith, and I am the faculty chair for the 2026 Kentucky Christian Writers Conference. And we are just so excited to have our guest today, Mandy Boerma. She is a friend of mine. She's known Sarah for a long time. I'm just getting to know her, and I'm just so excited that she's here today. Welcome, Mandy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to start us off, Mandy, can you tell us a little about yourself, where you're hailing from, and maybe what you like to do for fun?
Sure. So I'm Mandy. I live in the panhandle of Florida, and we are minutes from the beach, and we love to go to the beach, our white sand, our beautiful emerald green water. I like to travel. Of course, I like to read, and family is a big part of my life.
Yeah. Are you reading anything fun right now?
Yes.
That's a question. That was a freebie question.
That was a freebie question. I have to think of the title of the book. I am reading The Bells at Traeger Hall for my book club by Jamie Jo Wright.
Oh, awesome.
It's a little outside my usual reading genre, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. What is it? What time period does it take place in?
It's a split time novel, so it takes place at the end of 1800s and also modern day.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. I might have to check that one out. I have a whole stack of, if you could see my nightstand, I have a whole stack of books that I'm trying to get through. But what kind of writing? Well, first of all, I read your book since we interviewed you last for our podcast.
Oh, thanks.
Such a good book. It was
Thank
so
you.
good. I loved the suspense. Like, will they get anyway, it just was really good.
Thank you.
And I was so thankful at the end. I loved how you had them take the presents to the kids, and it was just really good. I just really liked it. So what kind of writing do you enjoy to do?
I do. I mean, I publish the contemporary romance. I dabble a little bit in fantasy. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition. And I like to write, so I will often write out feelings or letters or prayers. So writing has always just been something I enjoy doing.
Yeah. I love journaling. I like to journal my thoughts and prayers too. It's just, there's something I feel connected to. When I'm writing on my prayers, I feel connected to God a little bit. So I get that.
I struggle to be consistent with journaling. I enjoy it, but I struggle with consistency.
I do too. Like, I'll keep the journals, but then they end up being like little bits here or there. In this day of modern technology, a lot of times I will write out my prayers on my phone and then be like, here we go, and then delete them. So it's not really a record of them, but it was enough to be able to, okay, I thought this out. I typed it out, but I don't necessarily keep as much as I used to.
Yeah. Well, I understand that you have a background in television and broadcasting. Can you tell us a little about that?
I do. So I have my master's in broadcasting. I worked at a radio station. I was kind of like the weekend announcer. I did some work in news. And then I worked at a TV station. I started as a teleprompter operator just to get my foot in the door, and I moved into writing the news, and it was fun.
Yeah, life happens. This is real life, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't mine. It wasn't my dog.
I am really excited about the classes that you're going to be teaching this year. Your workshops are, yay, you've wrote a novel. What's next? And how to invest in your future. Emotions, writing character journeys that change them and you, and turning one book into a series. Are these more instructional, interactive, or inspirational?
Maybe a combination of all three. So the first one, you wrote a novel, might be a little bit more instructional. Like, it's all the information that I wish someone would have handed to me very clearly and explicitly. Like, let's talk numbers. And I feel like that's something that we sometimes shy away from, but I feel like it's really important as a new writer, especially, how much can I expect to invest? How much can I expect to earn? How much is this going to cost, and how long is it going to take me to get my money back? Um, and is it worth it to hold out for, a contract? And what is that going to look like? And is it going to be worth it financially? And so there's a lot that goes into that decision, and it's different for everyone. But let's talk numbers and maybe just be open and honest about it. I wish someone would have been like, okay, yes, let's be very specific here. What's it going to cost, and how much can you hope to earn out? So things like that in the first one. In the second one, emotions, maybe a little bit more inspirational. Character journey is personal for the writer, and we learn a lot from our characters, and just how much that can change you as a writer, and how to go on that journey with your characters. And the third one, turning a book into a series, maybe a little bit more interactive, and some helpful ideals.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on sitting in on that one. If last year I did not get to sit in on any of the workshops because I was so busy, but this year that is one of the ones I'm hoping to sit in on, because I want to turn the first book that I've written into a series. So I'm really looking forward to taking that one.
Awesome. Yeah. And your workshops are really for anyone at any level, but it seems almost like you're more focused on the newbie writer and helping them get a good foothold. And I love that heart for speaking into the new writer that is so needed. But I wondered, as I looked at your classes, what started that? Did someone pour into you?
I've had a lot of people pour into me over the years, and I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be published without them. I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't know what I know without them. And there's still a lot to learn. And I feel like writing is one of those industries where you just keep learning. I had someone at the grocery store the other day, of all places, say to me, if you want a job, just go get one. But if you want to be successful, you have to keep learning. And I thought, oh, that's true in a lot of areas and a lot of jobs, but especially as a writer. You can be a writer, but if you want to be successful, you have to keep learning. And so, I think as we start out, there's a lot to learn, but even as we continue to do it, there's a lot to learn. We never stop.
No, we don't.
Mhm.
No. Yeah. So what do you feel like the participants can expect to walk away from after attending these sessions?
Hopefully they can walk away excited. Hopefully they can walk away informed, and hopefully energized to continue working and pursuing their dreams.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And I would love, did you have something, Cindy? Am I running
No,
over
I'm
you?
good.
Okay.
No.
I wanted to ask Mandy if you would give us a little preview, but don't give it all away, of course. What do you think is the most important part of writing the character journey?
Oh, I think it's really important to be plugged in um, into your scriptures. Like I really emphasize writing a faith arc in my stories. I think that's what's important for me. And I know not every author is going to feel that way, but I feel like the Lord has called me to really share his words and his messages through scripture. And it was so integral in my growing up as a teenager and even as a young adult that I want to continue that. And so I think it's important to be plugged in to your scriptures, and that's sometimes hard. I had to pause last week and refocus and reevaluate and get started again, because I had fallen off the bandwagon. We're sinners, and we fail. And so I think it's important just to get up and to keep going and to really work on that relationship, because like any relationship, our relationship with God takes effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
And
I think, go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, I was just going to say, as you're talking, Mandy, it makes me think about the Christian fiction that poured into me. These authors that wrote these books that really meant something to me and impacted my walk with the Lord when I was a teenager. You're absolutely right. That's so important.
Yeah, I didn't find Christian fiction until I was married and out of the house. And the first author probably I read was Jeanette Oak or Oakey.
Mhm,
I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I loved all of her. I could not get enough of her books. And
mhm,
then Lori Wick, um, and then my husband and I both like to. He still writes. I just haven't read anything by him lately, but he went by T. Davis Bunn, but now he just goes by Davis Bunn.
mhm,
But yeah, I feel like when I would read those books, I could walk away not. I mean, it's not scripture. What we're writing is not scripture, but when we
mhm,
use scripture, as we
Mhm.
incorporate that and let that be kind of like the framework that we build on, the
mhm,
Lord can use that in our lives, and
mhm.
that is something I am wanting to do too with my writing. And so I just had a question, and it just went.
Mhm.
What was it?
Well, while you think about it, Cindy, I am going to ask Mandy just a couple more questions. What is your favorite thing about writers' conferences, and why should someone sign up for one?
Definitely, it's the connections. I mean, to go and to meet other writers, to meet people in your shoes, there is nothing better than to have the encouragement of face-to-face interaction. And writing is lonely. We tend to, hole up and talk to the voices in our head. And
Mhm.
that's hard. We don't interact with people, we don't get out in the world. And so, um, taking time to go to a conference to fill yourself spiritually because of the singing and the worshiping together, to meet other writers that are where you are, that are ahead of you, that are behind you, to realize that no matter where you are in the process, you can encourage someone and be encouraged. There's nothing more exciting or motivating than to get out
Mm.
there and to meet other writers, other creatives that are struggling along in this process too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true because, on the one hand, you'll never know where those connections can take you, whether you
Mhm,
form a critique group or get a craft partner or just a place where you're encouraging each other.
mhm,
Um, but also, I think we've mentioned before on this YouTube channel that those relationships that you build as Christian writers are going to outlast
mhm.
everything else on this earth.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I remembered what my question was, and so I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. But as you're writing and you're having your walk with the Lord, do you feel like it starts to be mirrored in your characters? Like, do you find that overlap? That is, you're
Mhm.
struggling with
Yes.
something that maybe your characters are struggling with it.
Yes. So, yes, currently, Sarah and I were talking about this not too long ago, but I am struggling with this current story that I'm writing. It has been a hard one, and I think that as I'm finally getting into this last push where I'm really focusing on the faith thread, that it's becoming very clear that I have been resistant to this story because I need to learn these lessons, and I quite
Mm.
honestly don't want to. Um, and so this morning, as I was sitting there working on this story, I said, Lord, I don't want to learn this right now. And he was like,
Mhm.
well, it's time. So keep going.
Yeah,
But yes, I do feel like a lot of times it mirrors what's going on in my life.
yeah. Do
Yeah.
you like if when it does get too hard
Mm,
and you're not wanting to write, or maybe you write through that and you get to the other
mhm,
end? Are there things that you do to kind of nurture yourself as a writer? Like, because sometimes writing the hard things
mhm,
afterwards, I feel like maybe we're more susceptible to attack of the enemy, or we're,
mhm.
just drained. So, is there anything you would recommend a writer to do if they've written through the really hard, and they're on the other side?
I think that it's important to acknowledge those emotions, and I think it's important to take them to the Lord.
Mm.
I think, a lot of times we've been taught that emotions are bad or we need to suppress, conceal, don't feel. And I
Mhm.
think that that's a message that we have like embraced for ourselves. And, the reality is God gave us these emotions and we can share them with him, and he wants us to share them with him. And we see that Christ had big emotions. Christ had anger, he wept, he had these big emotions. And yet he was perfect. He didn't
Yeah.
sin. And so I think it's okay to handle these emotions, to take them to the Lord, to speak through them, and then to sit with them. I think it's okay to sit in the emotions and say, Lord, this hurts, or I don't really want to feel this right now. Can you help me? Can you help me out? And when we go to the Lord for those things, he's always going to be there. I mean, he promises to be our rock. He promises to be our fortress. He promises to carry us through or to cover us in the storm. And so I think that when we go to him, when we're really struggling in those hard moments, those hard scenes, those hard emotions, that he's going to get us through.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
that is so true.
Yeah, I was going to say his fruit, as we do that, his fruit then develops in us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've had people say, oh, there's certain emotions that are good emotions. I like to label them. These are all these good emotions, and then here's all these bad emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no bad or good emotion. It's how we respond to it. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, if we take it to the Lord and just let him be in the emotion with us, then I think we're not going to. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, we are just so excited. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say the exact same thing.
But yeah, so we're just excited that you're going to be there, and registration is open. So if you want to go to Kentucky Christian Writers Conference, the registration link is open. It's the early bird sale is going on right now. So we just hope to see everyone there. And if you have questions, you can contact us through the website. And we look forward to seeing you there, Mandy, in real life.
I look forward to it. It'll be fun.
It will be fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.